There was a study conducted in the UK which found out that 57% of 18 to 24-year-olds have felt anxiety because of their body image. 10% of women have deliberately hurt themselves as compared to 4% of men who have deliberately hurt themselves because of the body image that they carry of themselves. Now, the shocking thing is that 13% of adults have felt suicidal thoughts because of their body image. What else do you expect in a world of Instagrams and filters and God knows what all is going on around us? This is something that I feel is extremely shallow, and at the same time, it is imperative that we discuss it. See, I am not denying the fact that face or your looks are important. They are important, because if I deny it, will be like saying that money is not important, money is useless. So I am not going to say something as impractical as that. I understand that face, your looks, your body, it has a lot to do with your confidence and how you feel on a daily basis. It's very important, okay? But what kind of an attention you're diverting to it, how much of your time is going into it, that is very, very important that you keep a check of. Ever since I was a little child, I had this problem, okay, of my own body image. Now, it is not something very severe because I've never been really overweight. I've never been overweight, till now at least. But there's this concept by the name body dysmorphic disorder. Just read about it if you haven't. I will give you some links in the description of the video so that it is easier for you to reach it. Body dysmorphic disorder is a mental condition where a person thinks too much about a perceived flaw in the body. So in my case, I will not be, I'm not very comfortable talking about what I'm referring to here, but yes, I have had this problem all my life. I've thought a lot about one particular aspect, physically speaking about myself, and I've never felt confident about that. Never. I used to look for clothes, like I've worn clothes all my life, keeping that one aspect in my mind always, always. I've told myself 1,000 times to look over these details and just forget about it and move on. I could never do it. I could never do it. I worked my ass off to actually take care of the issue. So what I'm telling you here is that it's not that I have not felt it. I know it hurts you. It severely impacts your confidence. It is coming straight from my heart to you right now. Okay, you can't completely get over them unless you are very strong. So there's this thing by the name spotlight effect. Spotlight effect talks about how a person is just too engaged with him or herself. So spotlight effect would mean that there's a spotlight falling on me all the time and I'm the most important person on the stage. Everybody is looking at me, everybody is thinking about me, everybody is talking about me. No matter how important you are to yourself, you can never be that important to others. So that is one thing that you always need to remind yourself. You need to tell yourself that you're not important to others. So stop paying so much attention to your body all the time. There's this concept by the name lookism. Just try and look it up. It's available on Wikipedia. You can read it there too. Lookism. So just as sexism and ageism, where there is discrimination done on the basis of sex of the person or on the basis of age of a person, there is discrimination done on the basis of looks of the person. So somebody who is more good looking will be able to get a job and the other will not be able to because that person does not look as good as the first person. So that is lookism. And most of us discriminate on the basis of looks. That's what we do. And since we are doing that to others, we end up doing that same to ourselves. So if you really want to change that about yourself, I believe the first step would be to change that perspective of yours towards others, because that is going to help you a great deal. Social media, oh my god, I have talked so many times about this and I'm gonna keep saying that unless it totally makes a space in your head. Social media should be, the use of social media should be curtailed. You cannot be using social media all day round. You can't do that. Knowingly, unknowingly, most of the times when we have this thing in our hand, we are mostly abusing it and not using it. So if you really cannot control what websites you're looking into, it's better you keep a control on how much time you're spending on your phone. Now, there are two pieces of advice that I have to offer you here. It's totally up to you how you use it, but if you use them well enough, they're going to help you. Okay. First is bringing down the importance of good looks in your head to a healthy level. I'm not saying totally get rid of it. No, you cannot. It's not, probably not, mostly not humanly possible for you at this stage. But what you can do is you can bring that level down to a healthy level. I'm telling you, hand on my heart, I'm being very honest with you. I don't pay a lot of attention to good looks. And this is something that I've trained my mind on. We all have had good looking crushes, right? But even when I was a young child, I remember my first crush. I don't think that guy was very good looking. No, I think he was more, I want to talk about it. No, but I think smartness here matters more. What else can you do? You can start working on your body. I'll tell you something personal here and tell me if that really works for you that way too. When you have a goal in your head, let's say I have a goal of going to 57 kgs of weight, which I'm not. Okay, now I don't need to be 57 to feel good about myself. What I want to say here is that the moment I start working on achieving it, I start feeling good about myself already. So the moment you take a decision and you start working on achieving that goal, that very moment you will start feeling good about yourself. That sense of relief that I'm working on something, I'm working on my dream, I'm working on achieving something. That sense of relief is immense in itself. What I do for myself, I can share a few things with you. I work out some days of the week. Not when I'm not well, but otherwise I try and walk for 20-25 minutes. I try lift a few weights a few times in a week. Then, it just keeps me happy that I'm doing something in the right direction. A little more awareness, a little hard work in the right direction. Just keeping on criticizing oneself is not healthy. Criticism is good only when criticism can drive action. If it is not driving action from you, that criticism is only doing harm to you. There's also a research that was done on the babies to find out the importance of faces. So researchers wanted to find out how much importance does a face hold to a human being. So they wanted to experiment on babies. So what they did was they made a picture of a face and they moved it in front of the face of the baby. Okay? And they wanted to see if the baby is going to respond to that picture. And babies did, okay? The newborns who were just a few hours old, they actually moved their eyes along with the image of the face when it was moved in front of their face. And then, just to make sure that it is the baby is responding to the face and not to a moving object, they made an image of a scrambled face. And then they moved the image in front of the baby. The babies did not move their face. They did not move their eyes to that moving object. So it was confirmed that babies are responding to the movement of the face and not to the movement of the moving object or the paper. That is how young we are when we start attaching importance to the faces. We are designed in a way that we will always attach importance to the face of a human being. But how much of importance? What are we learning over the years? As we are growing up, what are we learning from the society? What are we learning from the education we are taking? That is also something that plays a huge importance in how we lead our lives. I hope this video could help you with whatever insecurities you're holding in yourself about your body. Always clinging on to poor confidence is you betraying yourself. You're just being too harsh on yourself. Don't do that. There's so much more to life. All right then, bye. Take care.